Welcome everybody for week 3 of the NFL season. We're going to get my cursor mouse on the intro montage because I'm the dumbest person alive. But anyway, thanks for joining us again for another week of Houston Texans football. They've started off the season 2-0, a very strong start, wins over Jacksonville and Tennessee. They're taking on Indianapolis in Indianapolis' home stadium, which I don't know the name of offhand. Anyway, Indianapolis, they're not the strongest squad in the league, but don't take them for granted. Sort of like last week, like Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry, they've got a really strong running back in Jonathan Taylor, who, if he gets past our really weak defensive line, he can make he can do some real damage, making some really big plays. But Nico Collins hoping to do the same, make some damage like he did last week against Tennessee. He had 6 receptions, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Lovie Smith got his cup of Gatorade, sponsored by Gatorade. We're going to start off the game on defense, kicking the ball off to Indianapolis. Kareem Washington there, hyped up, getting some play time. Our rookie fullback, one of my favorite players, honestly, on the roster. He's just kind of a good utility player. Not the best blocker, but he's got some good running chops. Anyway, we're going to start this game off in just pitiful fashion. Look at this kick return. Oh my. Thomas gets shrugged off like he's nothing. Jalen Pitre tries to find the right angle, but in the process, the Colts take the run all the way back to our 27-yard line, and that's just a disgusting way to start off this game. So, like I said, going to start off on defense. Really short field for the Colts and Jacoby Brissett here. Jacoby Brissett, if he's playing behind Jonathan Taylor, he can really get going as well. So, our defensive line really needs to just put pressure on them both. Leighton Vander Esch, would like to see him step up and get some big tackles in the backfield. Not very likely when I'm using him, but, you know how it goes. Anyway, Jonathan Taylor shakes off my Vander Esch user right there for like he's nothing. Like really, really pathetic. Jamel Dean comes down with the tackle. But the Colts, after 2 plays, have gone 17 yards to our 10-yard line. So, first and goal now. Brissett has the pass. Stingley makes the tackle, but second and goal at our 1-yard line in 3 plays. That's just not what you want to see from the Houston Texans. Nobody expects them to go undefeated this season, obviously, as Brissett tucks it and takes it himself. Vander Esch gets there, but just a little too late. And the Colts are ahead 7-0. Like I said, nobody expects the Texans to go undefeated this season, but if they are going to get wins, they have to get wins against teams like the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. But they're starting off on the back foot here. James Conner gets a run, but only for about 1 yard. 2nd and 9 now for Houston. Got to make something happen. They're sticking with Conner in the backfield. I'm surprised they're not going with Dameon Pierce here. A quick audible for a pass, and Matlock tries to find Aguilar short, but that gets swatted away. And 3rd and 9. Like it's like 1, 2, 3. Which is why they call it a 3 now, I guess. I am not realizing. I'm not the best commentator in the world, folks. I'm, figuring out as I go along, just like Heath Matlock and the young Houston Texans. Matlock on 3rd and 9 tries to find Aguilar. Aguilar, they are going to say he has his feet in bounds. That's an incredible catch from the veteran receiver. Matlock really made him stretch for it because I thought that was too far gone. But Aguilar made it work. Dameon Pierce now getting his first run on the day, and it's a strong one. He's going to go for 11 yards, had a lot of good blocking there. After a 3-yard run now by Pierce on 1st down, we're going to pick up 2nd and 7. Matlock snaps the ball. He's going to try and find Brevin Jordan, but he just makes a pretty bad throw on the run. Had his tight end there for at least a few yards, but 3rd and 7 now, see if they can convert again. The snap, and a risky throw to James Conner, but James Conner caught it as he was falling down, and that's a 1st down. So 2 straight 3rd down conversions for the Texans on this drive. They're looking pretty good to start the day, at least. Another handoff to Dameon Pierce. He tries to go to the outside and gets nothing for it. So bit of good, bit of bad with Houston, as we've seen through just about all 3 games, so, well, 2 games and a quarter so far this season. Matlock snaps the ball on 2nd and 10. He's looking for somebody. He's just going to check it down to Akins right there, and Akins runs ahead for about 5 yards. So it should be 3rd and medium here for Houston in the red zone. So, don't want to be down this early, as they are, but a pretty good drive from the rookie quarterback, Heath Matlock, and his offensive squad. So, as I said, 3rd and medium here. They are going to snap the ball, and finds Cooks over the middle. He's down at the 3-yard line. Heath Matlock, 4 for 6, 56 yards on the day. He's starting off really well. It's all you want to see. Not all you want to see. Obviously, you want to see wins, but it's what you want to see from your number 2 overall pick. Dameon Pierce punches home the touchdown for the drive. 3-yard run, daps up Matlock. They're becoming fast friends here to start the season. Love a guy like Dameon Pierce helping you out when you're a young guy like Heath Matlock too. So Pierce punches it home, as I said, and we are tied 7-all. Lovie Smith loving it. And we're going to do a little simulating here. Quick drive from Indianapolis. They punch right on down, and they're going to stall out right at our 20, but they do kick the field goal and retake the lead 10-7. So we've got about 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm going to give Keegan Whitfield his first shot of the day. As I said, it's not, when we're swapping out these quarterbacks, it's not to punish Heath Matlock for playing poorly. He obviously played really well on that drive, but we're trying to strike some sort of balance between these 2 young players. Keegan Whitfield, on the read option play, hands it off to James Conner, who runs ahead for 9 yards up the middle. So, like what you like to see from your backup running back and backup quarterback. So, another option here. Whitfield tries to keep it himself, make a move, but he gets tackled. Fortunately, not unfortunately, he gets 2 yards, and that is enough for the first down. So, 1st and 10 here with just over 2 minutes to go in the first. Whitfield snaps the ball. He rolls out to his right. And he's got a man right there. It's Nico Collins. Nico Collins makes a beautiful move, made a man miss, and then he gets taken down at Indianapolis' 30-yard line. Whitfield, 1 for 1, 34 yards. That's what you want to see from your scrambling quarterback. So, 1st and 10, they're going to do another read option play. Whitfield gets just crushed there. Not what you want to see from your scrambling quarterback, especially considering the injury that he withstained in the preseason. Obviously, it wasn't lingering, but you don't want to see him get hit too hard like that. Matlock comes back into the game, hands the ball off to Pierce, who runs ahead. He's going to get about 5 yards, so it'll be 3rd and long now for Houston. They are down at the 26, so hopefully, at the very least, they can get the 3 points they need to tie this up, but they would like to get more. And Nelson Aguilar is going to help them do it. He gets 14 yards there on the reception. Heath Matlock really likes Nelson Aguilar. He's just got the right speed and route running presence that you need. Matlock, 1st and 10, near the end of the first quarter. He's going to roll out to the right, looking like Keegan Whitfield. He tries to just jam it into Akins, and that was a risky throw. But it got knocked out of Akins' hands, and he just, he's going to have to keep living with that. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, Heath Matlock going to have to keep living with that. He just gets crushed by Pay to end off the quarter. So, still 10-7 as we start the second frame. 3rd and incredibly long for Houston. They're probably just going to try and get some yards here and then settle for the field goal to tie it. So Matlock trying some hot routes here, trying some quick audibles. Doesn't like exactly what he sees. Rolls out and tries to find Aguilar again, but that'll just get swatted away. So that was a really nice defensive play. Just couldn't, same sort of problem as Heath Matlock had last week as Fairbairn kicks it to tie the ball game. Same problem Heath Matlock had last week a little bit, where he was just trying to force a pass to his first read into just too tight a space. And every now and again, a receiver like Brandon Cooks can come down with it, but as you see, sometimes the defender makes the stop. So a very quick drive for Indianapolis. They waste no time at all marching down the field, scoring 7 points and taking the lead 17-10. So things are looking real rough for Houston right now. They're just barely scraping by, trying to tie the game every time. And that's not going to help if their starting quarterback is going to overthrow their number one receiver like that, because that would have at least gotten them like 6 or 7 yards. So the handoff to Connor. Connor gets 4. So 3rd and 6, 3rd and manageable for Houston, hopefully, depending on how Matlock handles it. So we'll see what Lovie Smith draws up for the squad here. As you can see, it's the usual slant routes that seem to be working pretty well for us so far. Matlock rolled out, and he, once again, way overthrew his receiver, Brandon Cooks. So 5 for 11 on the day all of a sudden, and Houston punts it away, but a quick 3 and out, including a sack for Houston, and we'll take the ball over with about 8 minutes, half of the second quarter left to go. Matlock rolling out, and he's going to find Brandon Cooks. I thought he was going to check it down. I say I thought. I've literally played these games and edited these videos. I know what happens. I always think that play specifically, I was going to check it down to the tight end. For some reason, squeeze it in to Brandon Cooks, and Cooks came down with the reception. Dameon Pierce gets only a couple there. He hasn't run much today. 6 rushes, 25 yards, but he does have a touchdown to show for it. James Conner's been getting a lot of time in the backfield. 2nd and 8 now. Matlock snaps the ball, and he's just going to throw it right to Akins. He thought he was in some trouble there. The right tackle was just not holding up to the left end. 1st and 10 now. James Conner still in the backfield, and the handoff is going to be to him. He's going to charge ahead, get about 8 yards there. 4 rushes, 22 yards. They've mixed the 2 running backs pretty evenly today. 6 rushes for Pierce, 4 rushes for Connor. Pierce checking back in now. Got 6 minutes left in the second frame. 2nd and 2, the handoff to Connor, and he shrugs a guy off, and he's going to be gone. Oh my God. He's going to turn into an airplane. This game is tied. He just had nobody that could even threaten him. Once he shrugged off that first tackle, he found all the space he needed to get going. Dameon Pierce isn't particularly the fastest back in the world, but once he sheds that tackle right there, and then there was just nobody within like 5 or 6 yards that could trip him up at the ankles or something like that. So we do tie it with about 5 minutes left to go. Indianapolis, however, they just keep driving. They don't seem to be particularly stopped. Well, obviously they're not stopped by our defense. They're not perturbed by our defense, is what I'm trying to say. So they get a quick touchdown, and we've got 31 seconds left on the clock. Can we make anything happen? Madlock has struck at the end of the clock before. So 1st and 10 now. He's going to throw it to Akins. Akins stumbles ahead, and we're going to have to take our first time out. I believe that was a first down, but it might be 2nd and 1, 2nd and inches. So they call it 2nd and inches. Got 25 seconds. There's obviously no time at all to run. And we're going to find Brandon Cooks up the middle. He's going to be just shy of the 50. We would really love to get a little something, like close enough for a field goal to make it a 4-point game as opposed to a 1-touchdown game. Because we do start off with the ball in the next half. So Matlock snaps the ball, 1st and 10. He's going to roll out. And he finds Aguilar. Aguilar gets up to the sidelines and he's past him. Oh no. The defender missed him, and he's in for the touchdown. This is a tie ball game, folks. Nelson Aguilar, like I said, he's just got that connection with Heath Matlock. Matlock makes the throw, hit him, and he was just gone down the sidelines. You love to see it, folks. Matlock, stoked about it, flashing his number 1 to the crowd. Obviously, with just a few seconds left, Indianapolis makes nothing happen, and we're going to throw in Keegan Whitfield to start off the half to see if he can do anything. He didn't get too much playing time in the first half, but he did get a couple passes in, or a pass in that was impressive. So it's going to be a play action, my favorite play action crossover. He makes the throw to Aguilar. Aguilar, the ball gets knocked out of his hand, and then he's going to get called for an illegal block in the back. Very, very strange play there, but Madden AI sometimes things just happen in Madden, So it is going to be 1st and 20, which is not a good look for Keegan Whitfield. It's not a good look for Heath Matlock either, but we've seen him make bigger passes than Whitfield has. Obviously, sample sizes and whatnot. But Whitfield, he's going to roll, and he's going to... Oh, I thought he found Collins. Collins had a hand on it, but he just got hit nice and good, and the ball got pushed out of his hand. So, 2nd and 20. Whitfield's just going to hand it off to Pierce. Pierce is going to run right up the gut, get about 8 yards. So it's a 3rd and 12, and we're going to just switch right back over to Heath Matlock. Whitfield did what he could, but, you know, sometimes when you only get a couple of snaps a game, you can't really look at their stats too heavily. So Matlock going to try the exact same play-action crossover, and he's just, he got annihilated there. Pay his 2nd sack on the game, and that was really timely. Now it's still tied 24-24, but Indianapolis has the ball with a lot of the 3rd quarter left, and let's see what the defense can do here. As you can imagine, it's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world, but that's just because I have no defensive capability whatsoever. So they snap the ball. Brissett hands it off to Jonathan Taylor, and Jonathan Taylor gets a solid, I think, 11 or 12 yards or something like that. As you can see, 15 rushes for 84 yards today. I don't remember exactly how much Derrick Henry went last week. I believe it was like 160. But Jonathan Taylor showing that our rushing defense is leaving much to be desired, and our rushing defense is probably stronger than our passing defense. So Jonathan Taylor, he's going to get hit. He's got 9 yards on that one. Got hit about the 6-yard line and then just fell out for the final 3. So the second one, we're assuming they're going to go for the rush again, and they do, but Jonathan Taylor just gets enough to get the first down. 17 for 95. And that's what I was saying earlier. Jacoby Brissett just needs Jonathan Taylor to wear out our defense enough to make a couple big passes, and that's what he did in the first half, for sure. I believe he went for about 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first half, because as you can see, Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a rushing touchdown yet today. So Taylor's still tearing us up while I talk, and he's going to go for probably his shortest run on this drive so far, about 3 yards. So he's just, he's making things happen, and we can't stop him. Jacoby Brissett, there's some motion on the side, and he hands it off to the backup running back, who's just going to get 2 yards. Drake, of Drake and Josh fame, I believe. So 3rd and manageable for the Colts. Just over 7 minutes now in the 3rd frame. He snapped the ball, and they're going to get the first down. Stingley makes another tackle, but Pittman Jr. has the ball. As you can see, 19 for 22 for Brissett. He just crosses the 200-yard mark on the day. So he's having a very productive game to this point. 1st and goal, they snap the ball, and the throw is to Jonathan Taylor. He gets tackled by Van Der Esch, but he just powers right through, falls ahead into the end zone, and he's got the go-ahead touchdown. So, I believe they were going to go for it here or something like that, or they just got some sort of penalty while they were kicking the PAT. They kicked the PAT. I was a little confused while I was doing the simulator, if you couldn't tell. Very even in terms of yards so far. 338 for Houston, 340 for the Colts. 3 yards for Connor there. So now we have more yards. Haha, Indianapolis. So Matlock going to try and make some magic happen. We got just under 6 minutes left. We were down by a score. Very important time. And swings it out to Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar made a man miss, made a second man miss, but he made a nice little step back into 2 tackles. So 191 yards on the day now for Heath Matlock. He had some rough passes earlier in the game, but he seems to have calmed down since the end of the half. Pierce, he got 15 yards on that run. He just found the right lane. Just his 9th rush on the day, but he's got 92 yards and 2 scores. So he's having a very productive day. You could imagine that they might want to go to him more if they weren't down as much as they were. Pierce going to get 4 yards on his 10th rush of the game. I don't mean to imply that they can't run at all because they're down by too much, but I do think that they want to give Heath Matlock the chance to impress and pass them out of it. I think is part of it. Obviously, Dameon Pierce is the carrying force of the offense, and so he probably should be getting a lot more carries at this point, but also you want to see what your rookie quarterback can do when you're down by 7. So Heath Matlock is going to roll out, and what he's going to do there is really just like, he threw it away, but to like a place that could have just been picked off, so not a good reaction, but we are going to go for it here on 4th and 1. 3.5 minutes left on the clock at their 31-yard line. Could have gone for a field goal here, but we chose not to. And Brandon Cooks comes down with it. So it's a very important 4th down conversion for Heath Matlock, and it's good to have a guy like Brandon Cooks there for you to just know that a guy can make the catch. So that's he's got 58 yards on the day on 4 catches. And I'm going to swing it out to Aguilar again. Maybe we've been a little bit more patient. Nico Collins could have broken away a bit more on his slant, but on a first down, you'll take a 7-yard gain almost all the time, even when you're down by 7, because you're in the opponent's red zone. Dameon Pierce going to try the run. He's going to get just a single yard. He is over the 100-yard marker on the day, however. So, 3rd and short for Houston. Heath Matlock, very important play. And he throws it, and he just gets that, that was a bad pass. And if my sliders were a little bit higher on the interceptions, that definitely would have been an interception. Anyway, we will settle for the field goal. Fairbairn knocks it through, and it is now a 4-point game. So the defense really needs to step up more than ever if Houston has a chance to win this game. So, speaking of, going to kick the ball off, going to give them some simulated defense, and again, Jonathan Taylor is just rushing all over us. I'm going to see if I can do anything to stop the bleeding here, and you're really going to like this. So the handoff to Jonathan Taylor, and Jonathan Taylor makes us look like the most pathetic middle school defense on the planet. So let's pretend like that never happened. We're down 11 for a completely different reason, and the snap on 2nd and 10. Matlock, he's going to try and swing it to Aguilar, but Aguilar is well covered, and the defender got his hand on the ball. Matlock is 13 for 23, 211 yards on the day, but he really needs to make something happen here, because he can't be down 11 points in the 4th frame. Not for long, at least. So Matlock snaps the ball, 3rd and 10. Very important 3rd down for Houston. And he throws it to Aguilar. Aguilar has it. He rolled off his defender, but he rolled right into another defender. He's down. So they're going to try the hurry up here. Just try and score as quickly as possible. Matlock rolling out again, really learning a lot from Jacoby Brissett. And wow, he found Pierce swinging on the wheel route, and that was a good game. At Indianapolis' 29 now. It was 1st and 10. The snap from Matlock. And whole problem I was saying before about him trying to squeeze in some passes, he was trying to squeeze one into Brandon Cooks. Hard to blame him because that's his dependable receiver, but still. Anyway, rolling out again, and he's going to try and find Ross III, and John Ross III hasn't had many downs to play, hasn't had many receptions in this season so far. That was a very important reception for John Ross, 19 yards for him. 1st and goal now on the Colts 10. Lovie Smith trying to figure out exactly how to play these next 12 minutes. It's a very important time for his Houston Texans. And as the actual veteran on the squad, he's the one in charge. Matlock rolling out. Tries to find John Ross III again, but that gets smacked away. 16 for 28. 278 yards for Matlock on the day. 2nd and goal now. The snap. And he finds Nico Collins. Nico Collins is going to get crushed at the 1. They don't give it to him. I thought he tried his best to reach out, but he just couldn't get it. So it'll be 3rd and goal. James Conner in the backfield, and the handoff is actually to Conner. He just waltzes right in like they opened the door for him. And James Conner tries to make this a game again. We are going to kick the PAT, and we're going to be down 4 points once again. And this is becoming the most important quarter of the Houston Texans season. I know it's been a very short season, obviously. This is only the 3rd week, but so we're going to go for 2 here, actually, instead of kick the PAT. Try to make it 1 field goal game. And tries to throw it to somebody. I guess he tried to squeeze it to Cooks, and that just got intercepted. Thankfully, they didn't return it. That would have been embarrassing. As if I, don't need more embarrassment. Thankfully, we get a very quick 3 and out from the Colts. Their offense stalls. And, yeah. I was thinking about switching in Keegan Whitfield there, but this is Matlock's game. He's down by 5. He's really got to make a touchdown happen with 8.5 minutes left. So we're at the 11. What do? He throws it towards Aguilar, and that was too well covered. You really don't want to see him making those throws. One of my favorite plays again, the scat, as I believe I mentioned before, and Nico Collins on the hot route slant over the middle. First down, Matlock approaching 300 yards on the day. Good showing from the rookie quarterback, all in all. Obviously, you can't blame him for giving up the 48 points that the defense has given up. The throw to Cooks. Cooks can't come down with it. It gets smacked away by the defender. Just a very good play on that one. The Colts have been playing some really good on-ball pass defense today. But as I've said, Matlock has tried to make some too tight passes at points. Matlock has Aguilar again open on the slant. Aguilar stays on his feet after a tackle. Keeps going, and he's down at the 45-yard line. He's doing a little dance on him, man. That guy might send some people to his house later, if you know what I mean. That's embarrassing. Matlock rolling out. It seems like he's learning a little bit from Keegan Whitfield. Keegan Whitfield's got the mobility, but Matlock's learning he doesn't have to exactly stay in the pocket to make a strong pass. He just needs to work on his accuracy while moving, or learn to get his feet planted before he makes the pass. The handoff to James Conner. James Conner is going to storm ahead for just 3 yards. He's got 29 on the day, but he does have a touchdown as well. So he's feeling pretty good, I bet. He's got 5 out for Matlock. 2nd and 7. He's going to look. And Aguilar in the back. Aguilar blew past his defender. And he gets held up. That is just the worst way for the Colts to try and blow their own lead. A pass interference. And I guess you can't really blame him because Aguilar probably would have come down with that otherwise, but 1st and goal, it's a freebie. 1st and goal at the 1. Dameon Pierce in the backfield, likely going to hand it to him for his potential 3rd touchdown on the day. And we do just that, and once again, they've opened the barn door for us. Pinky up, champagne glass out, bow to the crowd. Up by 1. We're going to take another chance for 2 here, just so that we can hopefully go up by a field goal. So 6.5 left on the clock. Matlock gonna snap the ball, takes a shot for Cooks, and Cooks can't hold on to it as he's tackled by Neal. So just a 1-point game now, folks. All the Colts need is a field goal to retake the lead, and they come up very short. They have to kick the ball to us with 5.5 left, and now we just really need the first downs from our running back, Dameon Pierce. So the Pierce gets handed the ball. He has 3 yards, 107 on the day, 3 touchdowns, a very strong performance from the starting running back of the Houston Texans. James Conner in the backfield now, also a strong performance from the backup running back of the Houston Texans. He's only going to get 2, but he hits 30 on the day. Another touchdown for 4 total rushing touchdowns for the Houston Texans. 3rd and manageable for Houston. 4 minutes left to go. We'll see if they can keep the chains moving. And he makes the throw to Akins. Akins was pretty wide open there. It was a little out of reach, but the tight end was able to stretch out, bring the ball in, and get the first down. So, Houston running the clock down now, under 3.5 minutes. They've already killed 2 off the clock. Dameon Pierce dodges the tackle, but he's only going to get a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now. You got to imagine that they stick to it on the ground. They can get this to the 2-minute mark just about, the 2-minute warning just about after this. So Pierce just gets another yard, so it's going to be 3rd and 8 now. And not exactly ideal from the Houston Texans, because if they cough this ball up here, the Colts really have another chance. So it's going to be 2 minutes, and they do snap the ball before the 2-minute warning. And the pass to Aguilar. Aguilar has it, and minute 56 left on the clock. Colts are going to have to start using their timeouts, and a couple of good runs, 2 good runs from Conner or Pierce. Conner obviously now checked into the backfield. He gets handed the ball. He made a man miss. Ooh, and he made another man miss, and he's got a first down. That's really all that they need to complete this game. Down to 2 timeouts now are the Colts, and they need something big like a fumble. I don't think, obviously, because of the timeouts, the Texans can't really be kneeling the football just yet. So the Colts really need a turnover here off of a fumble. The ball goes to Pierce. He gets tackled ahead. He's going to get a gain of 4, I believe it is. Might be 3. But Colts running out of time. We've got 1 timeout. Second and 5 now, actually. So I guess they gave him 5. Connor in the backfield. He's got a wide open lane for the first down and a couple extra. I think he gets 9 on that carry. So Indianapolis out of timeouts. Houston in the Colts zone, and looks like they're gonna go for one more play, a handoff to Connor, and then probably start kneeling it. So Connor spins off a tackle, gets a gain of 3. He's over 50 yards on the day. Got as many as 11 rushes, which is nice to see from the backup running back. Don't have to overwork Dameon Pierce too much in this early season. And now that it's 2nd and 7, we got about a minute left. Looks like Houston's going to just kneel this one out, and we're going to have it. So, bada bingo, bada bango, 3rd and 8. Probably should have cut this out, but I got a little lazy with the editing. The game seemed to flow nice and smoothly. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, we got 18 seconds left on the clock. That's going to be the last play of the game. We're gonna just line back up in formation, rub salt in the wound a little bit. I really thought that we were going to drop this game. I thought, especially once we were down 11 in the 4th quarter, I especially thought I was going to make some sort of stupid mistake and blow it. But we hold on. The Colts lose a heartbreaker in their own home stadium. Nelson Agholor is showing that he's the early season MVP for the Houston Texans. Maybe Dameon Pierce. But Nelson Agholor being a free agency acquisition is just massive. The Texans, 375 passing yards on the day. The Colts outpaced them with 205 rushing yards. But Jonathan Taylor, as good as Dameon Pierce is, Jonathan Taylor is elite. So, like I said, we really needed to stop him, and we didn't, and we're just lucky that our offense came up big enough to come away with the win. Jacoby Brissett not feeling too happy. His team is now 0-3 to start the season, whereas the Houston Texans are 3-0. Let's take a look at some of the highlights now. Heath Matlock, 21 for 35, 356 yards and a touchdown. Keegan Whitfield only had 2 attempts, but he had a nice completion for 34 yards. So, over in the rushing lane, we're going to see that Dameon Pierce had himself a day, 17 attempts, 115 yards, and 3 TDs. Connor, 53 yards and a TD in his own right. On the receiving end, Nelson Agholor had 183 of Matlock's 350 plus. Brandon Cooks had 58, Aikens 36, Nico Collins 57. So a pretty solid performance from all those guys. Van Der Esch, Okoronkwo, Harris all had 7 tackles. Not the most exciting defensive performance on the day. Trey Flowers had himself a sack. So another late free agency acquisition that is proving to be pretty solid. Ogboni Okoronkwo had a sack as well, and we had ourselves no interceptions. So that's about it. We're going to take a look at some of the Colts stats, just, because Jacoby Brissett had a pretty good day as well. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 210 yards. Jonathan Taylor, 196 yards. He had 1 rushing TD and 1 passing TD. Receiving, he also had 50 yards. Odell Beckham Jr., 55. Alec Pierce had 27. And, yeah. So, we're going to call it an episode here. We're playing the Cleveland Browns next week. So, hopefully, the Houston Texans can keep their streak going and remain, I almost said winless, remain undefeated on the season. And Cleveland's only 1-2, so hopefully they're ripe for the beating. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you next time.